What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Athletic Aesthetic Podcast. My name is Vinnie, and I'm here with my co-host,
Tipton.
the one and only Tipton. This podcast is dedicated to art and sports and how they connect through conversation. And we have a great guest on our show today. I'm really excited about. Trey, who we got?
Man, we got a future NFL player, current CFL player, my man Johnny Petrishen, man. This kid is different in every which way. Has been seen on WPXI, has been seen in a lot of different realms, but I will say this, bro, this is probably one of our best podcasts that I think we've been on so far.
ACC champion, old teammate of yours.
100%.
Former rival when he was at Penn State of yours. Former rival when he was dunking on you in middle school.
Whoa. What's up, everybody? We back again. My name is Tipton.
No. We already did all that.
Oh, we did? Okay.
You got it, bud.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here today with a very important guest, my boy JP, a.k.a. Johnny Petrishen. My boy, man. It's been a while since we had a time to actually sit down and talk about some things, but today we're going to talk about some things.
Uh-oh.
We're going to talk about some things, and I hope y'all ready, and if you're not ready, you better get ready. So my first question is, Vinnie, are you ready?
Yeah, that's your first question?
Yeah.
Did we introduce our this guy's so fly. Have we went to him yet? Look at this fit, dude.
The fit is crazy. Crazy.
It's subtle, man. You know, Nike everything. Most people don't think this jacket is Nike, but
that's a Nike
you
jacket?
peep the little check right there. It's small. I don't know if you can see. It's subtle. You know, I don't like stuff that screams at you other than the color of the jacket.
Yeah, it's actually a 3x4 inch swoosh. He's just so swole that it looks like
he just,
We're gonna flex out of a coat in the studio right now.
Listen, what's crazy is though JP, I've always said this about JP. He started out as a DB, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
okay,
we had to kill all that noise. I had told him before that. I said, bro, like, look, I get it. You're athletic, right? But you'd be an athletic linebacker and destroy people.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah.
Never wanted to hear that, man. Never wanted to. Because to me, that was like a slight on my athleticism. It probably was just like a personal ego thing. But anytime somebody was like, yo, JP, you have the frame, you could play linebacker. To me, that was somebody saying like, hey, you're not athletic enough as a DB. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna stay as light as possible and play DB. But
you were a safety though.
Yeah,
right?
I was a safety, right.
I mean, let's just be honest here. How many?
No, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I know.
How many white DBs we know?
Right. And that was part of the thing. Like, I want to be the white DB.
This guy had a picture of Jason Sehorn.
Yeah, Jason Sehorn, right.
Growing up.
Listen, bro, I ain't gonna lie though. So me and JP used to play against each other in middle school. And this is the one person I never beat. Like, I'm being dead ass. Like,
where'd you go?
So for middle school, I went to Burrell, and he was Apollo Ridge. So we were in the same section. And that's how we first met, way back in the day, like 6th grade.
He was quarterback, I was receiver. They lined him up against me. He had a couple stops. I scored a little bit. He scored a lot. You feel me? It happened.
When you guys were, maybe this makes me sound so old, but when you guys were in high school, did you have social media yet? Was that like a...
Come on, bro.
Yeah, he was the first one to get
it
it cracking. He went to Pittsburgh Central Catholic, bro. So, you know, they had everything already. You feel
so
me?
you were like... The question I'm asking is because when I was in middle school, I didn't know who the hell I was playing against. Just some random kid from the town next over.
Right.
We didn't know them. So you guys knew each other through football or through social media?
I don't think it was through social media. I think it was just through, like, travel teams.
Yeah.
You know, we were, like, a couple towns over from each other. So,
you
know,
played
like...
hoops, too? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how we really first met, was AAU
Facts.
hoops.
Okay.
So, like, the good players from, you know, close towns, you, like, hear about them, and then you play against them or meet them. But... I mean, social media really wasn't like a thing until high school, I think.
Facts.
Like, at least Twitter.
Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
Yeah, what would you say, like, was your first impression of him?
At first, I was sick because this boy beat me, bro. I was mad as heck, bro. I was like, bro, for real?
And we're talking hoops right now. We're talking basketball.
We're talking hoops and football, bro. Like, I'm like, bro, like, I can't get away from dude.
What was your position on offense?
Quarterback.
You were the QB?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was all right.
But we both went to small schools, so both of us did everything. You know,
Right,
punter,
that's why
kicker,
I asked. I know
punt
you
return.
weren't just on defense.
Right,
like-
but it was like the first time, I'm sure in our lives, that we went against somebody else where we're like, oh, like,
Yeah,
he's
you feel,
good.
okay, I
yeah.
bet.
Like, I got to bring my A game, you know?
Okay.
Nah, I can't lie, bro. The first time we actually played against each other, bro, because before then I was dominating everybody. Like, it was,
Right.
It was a smooth. I'm getting at least 200 a game. In middle school, bro. It's middle school, you feel me?
Yeah.
At least 200 a game. And then they line JP up on me, and I'm actually working. I'm mad as heck I'm working this hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Yeah.
going into games unscathed, like not touched.
Yeah.
And now I got to go against him, bro. It's actually difficult. I'm like, all right, it's time to step it up.
Yeah.
They end up beating us by a touchdown or two. I'll never forget it. You know what I mean? It's all right, though.
This guy's still salty.
I'm salty as hell, bro.
Line it up, dude. You know what? Go out in the
Right.
parking lot, swing, bust that. You got a football or something? We could play some one-on-ones out here.
I got 3 in the car right
Settle it.
now.
But those are the games where you like, you know, looking back to other people, they don't mean anything.
feel
But
me?
that's like probably the most bitter I've ever been after a loss is in like high school, like my senior year. Still to this day, you know, playing throughout college and everything, the ones that bother me the most are the ones from my
Yeah.
younger days, like high school.
What do you think? Like, what's one of your biggest things that stick out in your mind from high school? That like, what's the game that's
I know. I ain't going to say it, though, but I know. Go ahead.
Well, you're thinking in a positive way. I already know what game you're thinking of because you were there. But the one that sticks out the most is definitely the last game for me of my senior year of high school. Just because I tell people all the time, like, out of all the levels of football, high school is by far the most genuine. Like,
Yeah.
once you get to college, everybody's just trying to get to the league. Like, you want to win, but if you lose, it's kind of like, all right, like, how well did I play? You know? And that sounds super selfish, but it's a
reality.
business
It
at
matters,
that point.
yeah.
In high school, like, you really care for the people next to you. 'Cause you've
Yeah.
known them for so long. You've gone through, like, puberty growing up together. Like,
Right.
you see everybody develop. Like,
Yeah.
it's years invested into that next to those people.
100%.
So that last game of high school, like, most of those guys are never going to put the pads on again. So you're like,
Yeah.
I want to win this game for you guys. Like,
Right.
this continues our relationship together.
Yeah.
You know? And so, like, you just create that bond and brotherhood through football. So, like, some of my best friends to this day were on my high school football team, you
Facts.
know? And just that last game together, you never know when it's going to be your last. So, like, we went into that Week
Well,
Bowl championship.
we did. We were
yeah, if
awful.
you're not going to the playoffs or something, right.
we had a scheduled last game every year.
Like, this is it for us, fellas.
But so it's just like,
Sorry.
I remember crying my eyes out like a baby.
I feel like everybody does their
yeah.
last
Yeah.
game, though, you know?
No doubt.
I cried crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I got the picture and everything. My mom holding me. I'm over there sobbing. My mom's 5'2". I'm 6'2". I'm over there hunched over, just crying like a little kid, man.
Yeah.
And then you got the freshmen who don't really care.
Right. At that point, yeah, a lot of guys wanted to go play basketball. You know,
feel me?
like the JV guys are like, all right, let's get the season over
Yeah,
with.
the
you
sooner
know?
I cannot stand out in this cold
Yeah,
weather,
exactly.
It's great.
Exactly.
I used to hate the JV guys. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, bro, y'all selfish. And
Right.
then I got to the college, and you're a freshman. You're on the sidelines, and you're like, I cannot
Exactly.
wait for
yeah,
this season.
Right. exactly.
It's so bad.
When
but
I was a
it's the truth.
freshman, I played D2 football at West Lib, and our first year we were like #1 seed going into the playoffs, and I was a walk-on as a freshman, and so like I made the like I dressed for every game, but like I played in 0 games, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Like I'm just dressing to like I don't know why they're telling me to dress. 0 chance of getting in right now. And then they were like, yeah, red shirts don't dress for playoff games, and I was like, dude, let's go. Because I was
Right.
like, dude, I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the good and the bad of being a red shirt anything in college is because the good in college is like you're not traveling, so you're probably partying. I'm gonna just keep it real.
travel.
100%.
See, I didn't travel my freshman year. I traveled the first couple games. I got hurt. Then after that, bro, it was just like
Me too.
it was up. You know
Same
what I mean?
thing. And that's the hardest thing for most people because when you go from high school, you know, you're the man. Everybody loves you.
Come on.
And then you got to make that transition from when you're playing with grown men now and all those pats on the back, they go away.
They go
And
away
people from back
quick.
home, they're like, hey, what's going on? You know, why aren't you out there yet? And like, nobody understands that everybody there
Is a
was the
dog.
best player from where they're
Is a
from.
dog.
You know what I'm saying? So that redshirt year is humbling.
Humbling.
You know, people don't realize how hard it is to play as a true freshman at Division I football.
Difficult.
Yeah.
It's mad difficult. When I say they don't understand, bro, like there's days you gotta understand. A lot of these guys already got kids too. You like
Right.
these are some grown ass men. Like
Yeah.
this ain't no like you're going out and playing against little Tommy who's a sophomore in high school and don't got much to worry about. Right now you're playing against Tyrone who's 26. You know what I'm saying? Got 2 kids, one
Full
on the way,
beard.
full beard. You feel me? He's been thinking about going to the league for the last 3 years.
Right.
You just trying to figure it out, bro. I remember my first. Did you have this? And I need to know from all athletes here. Did you guys have like your welcome to football or welcome to the college football hit? Because I remember mine. I'll never forget mine. It woke me
Yeah.
up. Like,
Mine put me to sleep. Straight up.
nah, you gotta talk about it because I want to know JP's right
No,
after.
I think I've shared mine before, but I was blocking. I got hit in the side of the head by my own running back, who was just coming through the hole, knocked me out cold. That was my
Unconscious.
yeah.
Friendly fire.
Concussion, friendly fire.
Damn.
Coach replayed it a few times on film.
Oh,
Was like,
that's the
look at
worst.
this.
That's
Look
the
at this.
worst
Look at this.
part.
I'm like, hey, man, did you not see the Will Smith movie that came out? Like, this is no joke.
Actually, fun fact, I'm in that movie.
No way.
Concussion?
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not
they filmed the practice scenes at my high school, so I was just like a tackling dummy in the background.
For real?
Yeah, when I was like a junior in high school.
Oh, that's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I met Will Smith, not to be like a fanboy or anything, but I've always liked Will Smith.
Yeah.
And
I'm talking about the old Will Smith. You don't like the new John, do you?
I respect. I love Will Smith. I love his work. I feel bad for him a little bit with everything going on, but that's for another day. But yeah, he like didn't care about football at all, because that's when I was in high school, like trying to figure out where I wanted to go to college.
Right.
And like it was on the set of a football movie, but he was
Yeah.
the concussion doctor.
Right.
And so I would talk to him like one-on-one on the side for like 5 minutes, just picking his brain. And I was like, so where do you think I should go? Whatever. He really didn't care about football. He was just like, just go to the best academic school, like go to, you know, wherever, like
Right.
Northwestern or Duke or something. But I was like, I want to play as big football as I can.
Thank God you didn't go to Northwestern.
Yeah, I would have been.
Yeah, that would have been.
Wait, why?
You ain't hear about the allegations?
Oh, boy. All right.
Yeah, we
Let's
gonna
go
leave it
back
alone.
to your story.
Next one, your
What
story.
was your welcome to college football moment?
I think I don't really have like a specific moment. I'd say it's just a year in totality of
Just getting your ass whooped for a full year.
all right. let's calm that. Just like I said, going from being the man, and like you guys said, I went to Pittsburgh Central Catholic, so that's like the big football school in Pittsburgh. Like that was when social media was coming out and Twitter was blowing up, and you know everybody's patting you on the back, telling you're the man, and then you get to a school like Penn State, and it's just like that goes away real quick if you're not
Fast.
producing in day one.
Yeah.
And that was something that was really challenging for me to deal with, because I've always been a good, nice guy, you know, so I always cared about what people thought about me, always searching my name on Twitter.
Right.
People telling me how great I am. And then, like, week one, if you're not producing, those same people were saying, like, damn, Johnny Petrishen's overrated, trash, a bust. And it's like, damn, like, I've never been mean to you.
Yeah.
Like, why are you, you know,
Right.
saying this on my name like that? So that was the challenging part for me. And just, like, seeing my 3 roommates all leave school to go to the draft early, be first and second round picks, and you know I'm on crutches for 2 years in a row. Me learning how to be a good teammate and a good friend to them was probably the most challenging part for me, because throughout my life up to that point, I was always the guy that people were rooting for and patting on the back. And now, like, I'm sitting in the background, I'm on crutches, like I said, trying to be happy for my teammates and their success.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, damn, like, I want that so bad.
Right, like I need it, bro.
Right? And, like, seeing their success behind the scenes, up front, and, you know, they're all getting drafted first, second round. And that's, like, crazy to have 3 roommates all go in first and second round, and, like, living through them and being happy for them, but at the same time, like, not jealous, but just like, damn, like, I'm so close to that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm right there.
doubt.
Right.
I'm right there. And Vinnie, I know you've had your share of injuries as well. You know what I mean? So, like, we can all speak on it, bro. When
Yeah,
you're,
I'd be in the NFL if I didn't get hurt.
honestly, I've seen your skills, bro. I think you would, bro.
Shut
Listen,
up.
we played in the
Chill
Turkey
out.
Bowl, bro. This man was catching bodies left and right, bro.
Hey, the Turkey Bowl, that's where the guys
real-
come out.
Bro,
The
yeah.
real athletes come from, bro.
Listen, that boy Vinnie had his one boy crawling.
I'm just training for the
On the ground.
XFL relaunch. That's all.
Hey, you and me both, man.
So is that? I don't want to get too far ahead in your story here, but so we're talking Penn State. Obviously, you had some like trouble there. How do you end up, or like maybe what was like the one thing for me that made you want to choose Penn State out of high school?
So, I grew up a Pitt fan, actually.
Okay.
You know, just being from Pittsburgh, going to Pittsburgh Central Catholic. I never really liked Penn State growing up, and I probably would have went to Pitt. I know Trey was in my ear all the time trying to get me to go to Pitt.
Tried so
But
hard.
Coach Christ, who was the head coach there at the time, left like a month before signing day. And I'm super indecisive. I've been that way my whole life. So from the beginning, I was like, I'm going to wait until the last day before signing day to make this decision, because I just like could not make a choice. And so Penn State offered me, and I was like, you know what, like, I'll go look at it. Like, I might as well just take a visit there, see what it's like. Went up there, saw the campus, fell in love with it, went to a game, and like that's the best atmosphere there is.
Went to a frat party.
Yeah, saw the girls, like, yeah, I got to come here. But then Coach Narduzzi came in, you know, a couple weeks before signing day, and I loved him too. But at that point, Coach Franklin and his staff was recruiting me for like 2 years.
Right.
So it's hard to just build that relationship. I wanted to stay close to home. So I was like, Penn State seems like the move to me. But I say every decision in my life up to this point has been made around getting to the NFL. Like, I'm sure you can relate to that.
100%.
Like, every minuscule decision throughout the daily has been made to try to get to the NFL. You know,
100%.
going to college, what I eat, you know, who I become friends with, who my girlfriend, like, every single thing is like, how's this going to hurt me or help me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, so then with that in mind, what happened that made you realize the next best route is Pitt?
Oh, man.
I don't want to skip over your time at Penn
Yeah,
State
right.
too fast, but
So we can get into it in details, but so much. So I went there with huge expectations. You know, in my mind, I was going there for a little detour, then going straight to the NFL. Like, there was nothing else going to change. And I went there and really hit the first adversity I had in my life. Like, I had a great childhood. I come from a good family. I've really never lost up until that point. Like, you know, sports, I don't think I've ever been on a losing team. And I don't mean that in like a bragging way, but I just never really had adversity through sports.
Fact.
Kind of like what we talked about, coming from a small town, like if you're a good player, like
You don't lose.
right. So I went there and had 3 season-ending injuries and surgeries my first 3 years. And that was definitely the most trying time of my life. Just like I talked about a couple minutes ago, seeing my best friends succeed. You know, as a team, we were a top 10 team in the country every year, going to Rose Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, Big Ten championship. And that was so fun, but, you know, not being able to contribute on the field, you feel invisible. And, like, everybody back home, your family, you know, they're happy for the team's success, but, like, I wasn't contributing to that firsthand.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong, you're on the team and you get all the perks from that, but that wasn't my goal and my aspirations.
yeah.
And obviously I wasn't going to meet my personal goals that way.
Right.
So, but through that process, I learned so much about myself. I feel like I met myself.
Okay.
You know, they say you finally meet the real person who you really are in times of adversity and trials and tribulations. So that was when I really developed my work ethic. You know, my character developed. I learned how to appreciate things more, not take things for granted. You know, I feel like I became a better person, not even just athlete, but just learning how to handle adversity. And, you know, being away from home, you know, my support system is back in Pittsburgh. So there I really learned, you know, personal character development. And learning how to deal with adversity is definitely the biggest thing I've taken away from that, and staying positive and all those things that, you know, people ask me all the time, like, do you regret going there? Like, that whole process made me exactly who I am today. And I wouldn't be able to handle the things that I face today if I didn't go through that process. And it's really going to carry on with me through the rest of my life.
Man.
Man, oh man, I'm just sitting here thinking about, it's crazy because me and JP's story aligns in a weird way. Like, when I say in a weird way, it's like we started here, then we went here, and then did this again. And the reason why I say that is, bro, is like how we started in middle school playing against each other, then we end up on the same AAU basketball team. Then both end up not even playing basketball in college, end up playing football in college, but still had dang near the same exact route, you know what I'm saying, being paved.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then he went to school for 3 years. I went to school for 3 years. Literally, it's crazy to think about, but his first 3 years, he got hurt. My first 3 years, I got hurt. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it got to a point, bro, it definitely took a toll on me, but I can only imagine what toll it took on him. You know what I mean? And then that friendship, as it grew, man, it led to my man coming back to Pitt, and I was in shock. I ain't gonna lie. I'm still in shock that you even came back. I'd have probably stayed at Penn State. You know what I'm saying?
That's a hot clip
At
right
one
there.
point, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm a Pitt guy for the rest of my
you
life.
gotta recover.
H2P, you feel me? But ultimately, there was a point where, vice versa, I started out as a Penn State fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then became a Pitt lover, like, for
Right.
real. So, like, it was just really weird to see on how everything transitioned. But what I want to know is like, for you personally, when you got to Pitt, what was that experience for you personally? Like, what was that like?
So first off, it was like even leaving Penn State was probably the hardest decision I ever had to make because I didn't want to. Like, the comfortable thing would have been to just stay there. You know, my 4th year I played in every game, but I still wasn't gonna reach the potential I felt like I had for myself there. I felt like I maxed out my potential there. You know what I'm saying? Because after I had 4 position coaches in 4 years. So when your position coach leaves and a new one comes in, you're like the redheaded stepchild. You know, like, new position coach, they didn't recruit you. They're bringing in their own guys. And that's not an excuse, but it's just like, it's another obstacle.
Yeah.
So it could have been, I could have like rode off into the sunset there, but I would have known for the rest of my life, I would have had like, you know, just regret or not like chasing and not trying to accomplish everything I wanted to. So I knew I needed to leave, but the easy thing would have been to stay there. And I remember yesterday going to Coach Franklin's office and telling him that I was going to transfer. Like, I was crying. I probably cried like 4 times in my life, and they're all have to do with football. But I wanted to come back home. And I remember in high school when I was telling Coach Narduzzi, thank you for the opportunity to come to Pitt, but I'm going to go to Penn State. I'll never forget, he said on the phone, he said, I think you're making the wrong decision, but if you ever want to come back home, I'll always have a spot for you. And that's why I'll forever love Coach Narduzzi, because he stayed true to that word when I was damaged goods. Like, he didn't have to give me a spot when I came back. You know what I mean? Because at that point, I'm 4 years down the road, injured 3 years, like, didn't play a ton. I was a special teams guy. He didn't need to take me back, but he told me 4 years ago that he would. So that's why I'll forever defend him and have his back, because he had mine when I was at my lowest. So it was really just a leap of faith. And I swear, like, everything that has happened to me throughout my career and life, I've seen it happen 10,000 times in my mind before that.
Right.
Like, I envisioned that so many times, and really just my college career coming to a storybook ending at Pitt. Like, going from Penn State to Pitt, my hometown, where I'm from, Central Catholic is on Pitt's campus. Like, my support group is here, my family's here. This is the team I love. And Pitt really, you know, welcomed me back with open arms. So I'll forever love Pitt for that. And, you know, winning a championship in 2021 was like,
best time
you
of my
couldn't
life.
write it better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Was that your first season there or second?
No, second.
Second season there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and we can get into those details, but that whole process was just like, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I know it will.
Right.
You know, because when I was at Penn State, this was before the portal was like how it is now. So transferring
What's
was
this, like 2019?
yeah,
2018 that you transferred?
2019. So transferring was like frowned upon.
Yeah.
And in my eyes, it was always like, like he's given up, you know, like, or
100%.
he got ran out, or he got soft, you know. Transferring
right.
was like the easy way out.
Yeah.
It was like waving the white flag. So I always told myself, no matter how bad this gets at Penn State, I'm not leaving. Like, I will die trying on this hill. But finally, it got to the point where I had to swallow my pride and my ego, and I was like, this is going to work out one way or the other. I just need to trust this process and make this leap of faith. And I knew that, you know, I could reach my full potential somewhere. I had no clue how it was going to happen. I had no clue how I was going to play linebacker. I had no clue it would be at Pitt. I never in a million years thought it would end like that. But, you know, sometimes, like, you don't know how it's going to happen, but it just finds a way.
It happens. Definitely happens. What's funny, too, is I want to ask y'all both this question. What do you guys feel about the transfer portal and where it's at today? Because me personally, I got my personal opinion on it, but I want to hear what you guys think.
I mean, I don't have a hard opinion one way or the other. I think everything in life is situational. I think that, you know, I think at the end of the day, like, if you feel like someone owns you, like, there's an issue there one way or the other.
Right.
And so I think the portal gives athletes freedom back, that when they start to feel like, you know, they've lost a little bit of control of their story, they can get it back.
Right.
But I do think that some people do take the easy route, which at the end of the day, if that easy route leads to more money, now with NIL,
Right.
how can you blame them?
Right.
So it's like, you know, I think there's a balance to it. I think there's an ebb and flow to the transfer portal. I think that, you know, there's going to be stories where people 10 years from now go, that was the worst decision I ever made. And there's going to be people that are like, that was the best decision that I ever made, just like everything else in life. So, I mean, I don't know. That's what I got on it. I'm just an artist that paints shoes, though. What do I know? How about you, dude?
I love it. I think it's abused by some people, in some ways, but I think, look at all the success stories. And there's a lot that don't work out like that, but you look at like the top quarterbacks in the country right now. They're all transfers. Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., so many of the top quarterbacks, the top players in the country were transfer guys. And I think that's just going to be more common as we go on. So, it gives people a clean slate and a fresh start. And that's more so what I needed than anything was just hit the reset button.
Right.
And like I said, a fresh start, a clean slate to, renew yourself as a player and create a new narrative for yourself. And for me, it was really just controlling the narrative. Not that my reputation was bad or anything, but at Penn State, I was the guy that was always hurt. And so just coming to Pitt and being able to kind of like reinvent myself was so important for me mentally, more so than anything.
See, me personally, I think there needs to be a limit on how many times you can transfer through the portal, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these guys are doing 4 years in college and doing 4 different teams. Like, what are we doing, bro? You just chasing money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think at least that you should be on a team for at least 2 years to at least get an understanding, like, okay, this really ain't for me. Because some kids, bro, they're just dipping off because they literally just can't handle the adversity that they're currently going through. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like if you're going to do it, I think it's a great thing for anybody and everybody to do if you can, right? But at least take those 2 years, build a relationship, build an idea on what's really happening, bro. A lot of these guys leave, they're young guys leaving as freshmen, right? Just because you ain't starting your first year. I'm sorry to break it to you, buddy, but you're probably not going to start anywhere your first year, you feel me? So, like, that type of stuff, personally, it definitely sends me the wrong way. But on the back end, right, if there's a coach who's dishonoring you or disrespecting you in some type of way and you gotta get up out of there, then get up out of there. You know what I mean? Like, get yourself away from that bad situation. But some of these guys, man, like, I'm telling you, bro, like, they're chasing money instead of chasing the wins. You feel me? So it's becoming more like the NFL than it is college. But with that said, though, right, every kid got a right to go chase that bag. Because why not get that bag? You know what I'm saying? I just don't like the fact that you got guys who are starting quarterbacks, right, then transferred 3 different schools. They're now going to their 4th school. It don't make sense to me. I get the money's there, bro, but at the end of the day, bro, like, what loyalty do you have, right? It'd be hard for me as a player to actually trust you.
I got a question for y'all. What do you feel about Oklahoma's quarterback transferring
see,
as a lacrosse player?
Wait, what?
Yeah, he transferred as a lacrosse player.
Yeah, that's wild.
Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to play football anymore?
Really?
That's different.
Oh, good for him then.
Yeah. I
Clearly,
think
football's
not the route.
not what's in his heart.
You feel me?
I respect that, to be honest, because he's had a lot of success on the football field. I saw he was transferring. I didn't know he was going to play a different sport.
Interesting.
That's different.
So maybe football's not just filling that hole that he's looking for. Then.
I agree with that.
And that would be hard because, everybody's going to tell him, bro, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, he's doing what he feels best for him.
I'm sure that's not an easy decision.
No.
So.
Not by any means.
I mean,
think about being the new kid. Like, you transfer, it's one thing. You went to a different team, you're the new kid.
Yeah.
You transfer schools and sports.
Sports.
Yeah.
Alienated.
If you could play any other sport, what would you play?
Basketball is my favorite sport, to be
100%.
honest. This is my first love. But I knew I wasn't going to be 6'8". So,
Nah, hey, JP could tell you, bro, back in our day, we used to, I ain't gonna lie, we used to disrespect teams. We used to try to have dunk competitions.
Trey was the most athletically gifted person I've ever seen at a young age. Like, I'll never forget the first time he dunked. I was there. I was like, whoa. Like, I was just trying to touch backboard at that time. I was like, this dude just dunked. I remember, like, dabbing him up for the first time, and my hand just, like, gets swallowed in his hand. Your dad's the same way. To this day, when I dab your dad up, he's like,
My dad
just like
doesn't-
I'm like, dang.
You know how there's a point in time in every young man's life where you almost like, you look at your dad and be like, yeah, I can get at him. See, my dad's 6'7", 240 pounds. I'm
Trey's
just
still
like,
waiting on it.
It's coming.
God.
It's coming.
Yeah, someday, Dad.
you just got to be 70. 10 more years, dog. 10 more years, I'm on you. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
But ultimately, Jay, man, let's talk a little bit about what's going on right now, bro. You're chasing your dreams, bro, and that's something that I very, 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 very am proud of you for, just because, again, at any moment, me and you could have quit. You know what I mean? And you have proven time and time again you love what you do, but you love this game, man. So tell everybody a little bit about what you're chasing right now and what you got going on.
So right now I'm signed in the CFL, which is another thing that.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
you better
it's-
talk your shit. Hold on. Yeah.
And it's another thing that I thought I would never do, that I told myself I would never do. Coming up through college, I was like, when the XFL started and I saw people playing in that, I was like, I will never do that. But that's the same pride that got in the way when I said I'll never transfer and that I'll never play linebacker. So I've learned throughout this process is like the things that I tell myself I'll never do end up being the best thing that ever happened to me. Mm-hmm. And it's really that feeling you get of like fear almost, but you learn that when you get that like fear feeling to just take that jump, you know, and to chase that. And that's the hardest decision to make. But now I've learned, you know, I'm taking this jump without a parachute. And, you know, I've come so far. I'm at the
That's a bar. I ain't gonna lie. That's a bar. It's a bar. I'm still in that.
And, like, I think if I didn't go through those years at Penn State, I would not be able to handle this right now. But this is a breeze to me now. Like, right. I look back, I'm like, you know, I went through that. You know, 2016, 17, 18 were the 3 hardest years of my life. This is nothing. And I've really learned to be happy without having the status or goals that I desire. And the younger me, you know, coming up, I was always like, you know, I just want to be a starter in high school. When I get that, I'll be the man. I'll be happy. And then when you get there, it's like, man, I just want to go play Division I. When I get there, you know, I'll be confident in myself. I'll be happy. And then when you get there, it's like, man, I just want to go to the league. When I get there, I'll be happy. And it's always, you know, the foolish man seeks happiness in the distance. But the wise, like, you learn how to grow happiness underneath your feet. And for me, like right now, I'm proud of myself because I currently have nothing. I have accomplished none of my long-term goals yet, but I'm probably happier and more confident than I've ever been in myself. So now I have these tools in my tool belt that I know I can face anything that's thrown at me. You know, like a couple years ago in this position, I probably would have folded. But because of lessons that I've learned throughout the past few years, like I know that I'm bulletproof, I'm undefeated, like I can get anything that's thrown at me. Like there's nothing that can stop me. I play in the NFL, the world just doesn't know it yet. And so
let's go, dude.
And like a couple of years ago, I would have been confident enough to say that because I'd be so worried about what Joe Schmo is saying online.
Yep.
And, you know, I know there's people out here like, man, this dude JP, he's delusional. Like, he's crazy. I just don't care anymore what other people say, man. You know, and that, it's hard to flip that switch because I used to be crippled by other people's opinions. Like I said, I was checking my name on Twitter every day, man. Johnny Petrishen, overrated this. And I just wanted to prove those people wrong so bad. But it was really like making me bitter and making me cold. And you know me, that's not me.
That's not Jay.
And so I really had to switch that mindset. Like, I just want to prove me right. I want to prove my parents right and the people that believe in me right.
Damn.
And so, like, I used to, at Penn State, every morning I'd wake up, I had tweets printed out on my ceiling. So the first thing I see when I wake up was Lamont Wade better than Johnny Petrishen. You know, JP's finished, JP this. And that was just, like, making me bitter all the time. And, you know, the world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. So I had to change my mindset to being positive and being happy all the time. And that's how I've really learned to, you know, be happy no matter what situation you're in. You got to choose happiness and positivity every single day.
Right.
And that's what I get back from the world now. So I could go about that for hours, but that's just, you know, what I'm proud of most, I'd say, throughout this journey.
You know, what is really, really, like, first of all, I love everything you just said, man. I got goosebumps in the middle of it, and I know that, like, you're speaking from the heart, and I love that. It's rare to see somebody, like you said, like, you know, I know you've had the trials at Penn State, but, like, up to this point, you've had a pretty fairly good life, like you said.
Yeah.
It's rare that, like, people have the perspective that you have at your age with, you know, little, like, I mean, you look at Trey's story, right? Obviously, his perspective on life is so different because of the things that he's been through, the loss that he's suffered, but also the highs and the lows. And I'm not dismissing your lows,
right?
But, like, it's encouraging, man, to see somebody that's still chasing their dreams, that's doing it for the right reasons, that, like, has this mindset, dude. When you said I'm in the NFL, the world just doesn't know it yet, that hits me to my core.
Bro, I got chills instantly.
Because it's true, man. If you are going to do this, it's already done.
Right.
And I don't know what your faith is, but I believe that too. Like, you know, if you speak it, it
will happen.
It's something that, like, it may not happen the exact way you picture it happening, and it probably won't happen the way you picture it.
Right.
But nothing else to this point has happened, and look where you're sitting.
Yeah.
Your goals are still within reach. So,
Right.
like, I just want to give you, like, you know, a little bit of, like, your own roses right now, bro,
that,
because, like, if you have that mentality, you're going to be successful not only in the NFL, CFL, doesn't matter which L. Like, you're going to be in a league of your own, and so keep leaning into that, man. It's really encouraging.
Thank you.
Y'all both over there just
dropping bombs.
Like, I'm just sitting here in the middle, like, all right.
Catching-
Nah, I like that, man. Just as a friend, bro, I've been able to have the blessed experience to be alongside of you in many different adversity that we've both been through, man. And it's humbling, but it's almost promising as well that you get to see your friend continually chasing your dream, man. And on top of that, I'm not gonna spoil the good news, but I'm gonna spoil the good news, man. I've been very, very blessed with an opportunity to have this guy also help out my 7-on-7 team.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? And just help out and just show these kids that it's okay to chase your dreams when nobody else believes. You know what I mean? And that's most important. So I want to thank you on that end as being a friend, because that's my dog.
I don't know. Trey ain't going to say it on here, but listen, this man's got something amazing going with his 7-on-7 team, and with everything that he gives back to the kids. These kids need uniforms. These kids need, you know, travel expenses. You want to take them places and experience these things. And if Trey's going to be too humble to ask for it here, if you want to support what this man's doing, changing kids' lives on a football field, hit him up. There's a way. There's a kid that needs a plane ticket to the next tournament. There's a kid that needs a jersey. Like,
100%.
you know, Trey's doing this. Like, he doesn't make money doing this.
I'll make nothing.
If you're sitting there watching this and you're like, I can't give back in certain ways, but like I can help get a kid to a tournament, and that tournament's gonna like introduce him to, you know, the next recruit or the next
100%.
teammate that you guys are like you guys had. Like, this conversation's happening because someone paid for you to go to some tournament.
Yeah, right. And you get to watch these kids' lives change.
And that's the biggest thing, man. I don't think people really understand, bro. Like, sports do more than just show up on TV. You know what I mean? Like, you see these kids legitimately light up when they get to see their friends again, or legitimately light up when they're playing against each other on a high school field, bro. And everybody else is competing. They're competing too, but they're laughing at the end of it because it's like, yo, that's my homie. You know what I'm saying? As a coach, bro, the only thing that you can ask for from your kids is to be the best man they can be. Excuse my language, but forget everything else. You feel me? Like, forget the football, forget the college experience, bro. Like, who you become as a man needs to matter. Yeah. And I feel like right now, especially in society's trying to tell these kids that it's not okay to be the man that you're trying to be. No, it's okay to be a man. It's okay to be the man that you're trying to be. It's okay to do the things that other people aren't willing to do, because being a man is hard.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be easy. You don't got people giving you roses when things get tough. You don't got people picking you up immediately unless you're trap strong. You understand what I'm saying? So it's important for us as men to teach men to grow young men. And if you're somebody out there who wants to be able to do that, whether you're a coach or not, man, we believe in leading leaders. So if you're a leader out there, come lead some leaders that are also trying to grow in their community. But that's besides the point, man. I'm very passionate about that, just because, again, like, it's not about the money. I don't get paid a dime, bro. I spend more money, honestly, than I'll probably ever get paid in doing so, but I'm okay with that, man, because it's not about me. It's about the next generation of football. And right now I feel like PA is low-key behind a little bit, you feel me? So it's time to catch them up however we can, man. And that's guys who are NFL guys coming back, Canadian League, and soon-to-be NFL guys coming back, man. It's huge, bro, because these kids don't have a lot to believe in. Everybody can see it on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, you feel me? But reality sets in when you actually have to live in the real world, bro. I feel like we get stuck in our phones so often, we forget that we're actually human and we're living this life.
No doubt.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So
It's so easy to, man.
So easy
Like, I'm
to.
sitting here, like, my phone's buzzing off the hook. And it's like,
Subtle flex right there.
no,
Nah, he's in the same group text as the rest of us.
am I missing anything important? Can I, like, because my heart's like, I'm like, what's happening? Is my house burning down? Like, what's
I in
going
trouble?
on?
Right.
Miranda, I will call you back. I love you. But dude, like, I guess like my follow-up question to that is like, why do you think it's important to do something? Like, I mean, you're chasing your dream, bro. Like, that takes a lot of commitment, time, being in the gym multiple times a day, prepping your food, making sure your mental's okay. Why, in the midst of all of that, are you feeling the importance to step into what Trey's doing and give back?
Well, first off, when Trey Tipton calls you, you answer. And Trey has been such Trey has been such a pillar of friendship and confidence, and just like somebody to lean on throughout my life. I don't really open up to anybody ever, but Trey has been like through everything. So seeing him, and I've learned so much from him, just being a friend and looking at him from afar of how he shows up every day with a smile and positivity, no matter what he's going through. Like, it really makes you check yourself like, damn, my day really isn't that bad. So I'm going to go smile and impact somebody else's day in a positive way. Because like I said earlier, you got to choose happiness and positivity every day. And I've seen firsthand how many people love being around Trey, and that positivity is contagious. And like, just passing that on to somebody else can change their day. And really, it's a butterfly effect because then they pass it on to somebody else. And just like walking past somebody in the hall and smiling and asking how their day is, like, can change somebody so different. Like, what you do for mental health and just for the youth, like, you have a platform, and Trey has given back tenfold.
Dude, one of my favorite clips from the football season, they had like a kids night at Mount Lebo, and they had like, bro, how many kids? There's probably like 500 kids lined
like 600,
up and down
700.
the sideline, okay? And like, they're all high-fiving the football players and stuff, and all the coaches were just like walking in a single file line through all these kids, and Trey was the first coach that just like broke off and started high-fiving these kids. And you see both his boys first go over, then you see the head coach go over. It was like, whoa.
I mean,
like,
it's
impact right there. You just
we saw it at camp too. All the kids yelling at your name for autographs, and like, he walked over, started signing, bro. These kids, I mean, they just wanted someone to sign and see them. And Trey was like, I know that they don't know who I am, and I know that they think I'm probably someone else. But like, I'm gonna go.
Facts.
I mean, like, we had that. Like, it's not a knock on Trey, Like,
no, not at
because
all.
there were kids there that watched Pitt, and they were like, Trey, sign. Like, I'm not saying he was in this no name,
And
but
other
like,
kids were like DeMar Hamlin.
yeah, people thought he was DeMar. Like, but like the humility of him that like he's like, hey, I see you, and I'm gonna acknowledge you, and like so it goes a long way. And I was actually on my phone just now while you were talking, trying to find the I think I sent you a DM when I first met Trey, because for some reason you and I connected online. I don't know if it was about cleats or like what it was about.
Yeah.
But like, I think you were someone that I couldn't find it, but
Coach D?
possibly, yeah, Coach Davon,
yeah.
and I played college ball with him. But anyways, I feel like I asked you about Trey, like when you first reached out. I was like, did you play with Trey or something? And you were like, dude, I'd do anything for Trey.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's
like,
my brother.
There's probably like 5 people in this world who I really use them as a sounding board and that I truly value their opinion because I know like it's coming from a good place. But Trey is like one of those people for sure. Like he always has pure intentions, and he's probably the most selfless person I know. Like
I would agree with that.
No matter how much he has on his plate, he's probably the busiest person I know. Like
To a
he
fault
will
sometimes.
he will always open that opportunity to help somebody else.
He will help someone do a fault.
Right. And that's why
100%.
sometimes
I
I
learned
feel
that the hard
bad
way.
like calling him, and I don't like to ask for anything in general, but like I know he will do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying people take advantage of you, but like if you need something, need help, Trey will always be there.
No doubt.
I appreciate that, guys. Y'all over here giving me flowers, man. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
For
you,
real,
bro.
man. It means a lot.
So, I guess we're up to. First of all, I just got to throw this out there because he came in here and said he's ready to drop some stuff in the studio, and I'm reluctant to ask what that stuff may be. But
I
like,
just meant in terms of like opening the curtain back a little bit.
Yeah,
And just
okay.
I think we touched on it a little bit, but I just really admire anybody and what you guys do. Like, I admire anybody chasing something. And like, my biggest fear in life is to, one, disappoint my family and just like not reach my fullest potential. And like, I've always felt different. I've always felt called to something more than just a normal lifestyle. And that's not to fault anybody that, does the 9-to-5 life or works in a desk job. That's like, everybody has their own path, and I think that's awesome. But I've never felt like I've always just felt that I've been called to inspire or impact as many people as possible. And that's why, like, with this small platform that I have now, if I could inspire one person to chase what they want, then that's like more than enough for me. So I really just like anybody that does something out of the ordinary or has the confidence to step out of the comfort zone, because that's really the hardest thing is the people that you have in your ear, saying like, oh man, like you can't do that. And they really don't mean it from a bad place, but it's just like people, and I don't want to say haters or doubters, but just people that like, even like my family members that are like, hey, like, you know, you think it's time to like get a regular job yet? I've just never felt like, I've never had that vision for myself, ever. I've always felt like I've been called to more, whether it's, you know, football or television or a podcast, whatever it is. I just have so many friends that don't play football anymore and that they hate their job.
Facts.
They work for a boss they hate. They, you know, go to a 9-to-5. They're miserable. They come home to a girlfriend they don't even like, and they're like, bro, I'm miserable. And I don't want that for myself,
100%.
you know? So I felt like these tools that I developed that are in my tool belt now, like I need to use them for something. I'm at the 1-yard line of my dream, and I cannot stop because for the rest of my life, I'll be like, damn, what if? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think, and it's not like an arrogance thing by any means. Like everybody has their own vision, but I feel like people are given visions for a reason.
Come on.
You're the black sheep of your family.
Right, exactly. I'm the first person to graduate from college in my family. Like I've always felt like I've just been destined for more. And not, like I like to say, I'm not more or less important than anybody else, but I'm not the same. Like I just feel like my whole life since I was been young, I'm sure like anybody that's chasing something different feels like they just don't want to fit in. Like my biggest fear is fitting in because that's when you disappear.
Yeah,
Bro.
and that's what
You
I
know?
don't want.
Bro, the least like logical thing for me to do when I was a struggling artist was to launch a podcast in my basement and make $0 off of it.
Right.
But I knew I was called to something more.
Bro, yes.
And if you understand that, you understand that.
Come on.
And I think that people they hear the calling and they just are too afraid because they hear the other voices too much. And I think, like you said, it's an actual decision you have to make to shut those voices down. And maybe not silence them, but like, bro, turn the volume down on them in your speaker, like in your head. Like you can't let it alter you. And like you said about the pictures that you had up on your wall of, you know, your teammates that were getting more shine than you. Like people do that in their life, and it's because like this is now their wall. Like they scroll and they see, oh, this mom is better than me. Oh, this guy is getting recruited by 10 teams instead of 5.
Exactly.
Like you have those things all over your phone all day long, and it's so easy to compare yourself. It's all comparison.
Yeah.
And so I guess, like, what would you say, maybe, let's go back. You guys are obviously, like, you know, going to start coaching here together and all these different things. You're you know, you have these goals. What would you say to yourself coming out of high school? Like, what would be the piece of advice that you'd give yourself?
Oh, man.
That's a great
How much
question.
time we got?
Unlimited, baby.
I think, man, I'd say just don't let anybody else take away that confidence, because I did. And, you know, that was the hardest thing, of losing that confidence and then trying to build it back myself. Like coming into college, I was like, I'm the man, I'm invincible. And I'm not saying this out loud, but in my head, like nothing can stop me, you know? And then after the injuries, like, then, you know, I feel like the coaches are doubting me. And then, you know, I'm in the back of my head like, damn, like, do I belong here? Like, am I good enough? And just going through that process of building that confidence back was long and lonely. You know, this journey of taking that leap of faith, chasing anything, is a lonely process. Like, you gotta, that vision, like we talked about, was given to you for a reason, and other people are gonna not doubt you, but try to second guess it for you because they didn't get that vision. You know, you got it.
Right.
And even like, you know, your mom or your sister or somebody, they might be like, hey, like, you know, you think it's time to, you know, get your real estate license or, you know, go do this. Like, they didn't get that vision. And they don't mean it from a bad place.
They just
100%.
don't know.
You just don't, you'll never understand me. And a topic that I wanted to touch on is really like the confidence versus humbleness versus arrogance piece, is because like a lot of people going through this journey, like they're going to look from the outside going in and be like, man, he's crazy. Like he's arrogant. He's full of himself. But they would never understand how much self-doubt you go through and how much you had to believe in yourself to have this confidence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
It's earned.
yeah, it's
earned,
not
not
something
given.
you can just flip a switch and be like, I'm the best. And that's something else I want to talk about is people like who have the affirmations and, you know, talk to themselves in the mirror and say, you know, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm good looking, I'm confident. What's the difference between that and saying that out loud without people thinking you're arrogant? You know, just because I talk like that, not in a setting of yoga, people look down upon that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
But if you
100%.
do it in a room by yourself, you know, with a yoga mat underneath you, it's, you know, positive affirmation,
affirmation.
right? Like, how are you
Yeah.
to tell me how to pray? You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
No, for sure.
And I think that's something that's totally misconstrued in society is, you know, there's a difference between talking positively about yourself and talking negatively about other people.
Right.
Like, I'll
Yeah.
never talk down on somebody else, but I need to hear myself say positive things about myself so I can act like that.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for real, because you're talking about something that people don't really understand, right? Most people take certain things as cockiness when they don't believe in themselves. You're mad at me because you don't believe in you. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer. I stay in my lane. But if you ask me Trey about Trey believes that he's all that in a bag of chips, and I ain't got no problem in saying that. And the reason being is because I worked to get here, right? Just because you don't like how I'm talking, you don't know my struggle, you don't know how I got here.
Right.
Because if you look at Trey back when he was a freshman, Trey's not a great kid. He's not feeling great. He's not moving great. But you look at me now and you would say, how did you get here? I got here because I worked for it. And because I worked for it, I deserve to tell myself, I'm proud of you. I deserve to tell myself, you got this, you're the greatest. The fact is, this is be honest here, people are scared to tell themselves that they're great because everybody else has told you that you're not.
Right.
So you want to believe everything that everybody else believes, but they don't spend that much time with you. How's that fair with you? How's that
Right.
fair to you? You understand what I'm saying? It's because you've been through enough. Listen, bro, I'll be honest with you. The reason why I am so giving and try not to take is the fact that I know what it's like to only believe in you
Yes.
and nobody else does. And I am A-okay with that. Like you said, you never wanted to be like anybody else. I tried my hardest to be different.
Yeah.
Reason being is because if I'm like everybody else, then what makes me a star?
Right.
If you're not considered crazy, then what makes you genius? Seriously, like how can you ever be genius if you're not crazy? So in my head, bro, it's just like the fact that you took a risk on yourself, saying that I'm gonna do just art. Bro, I can name 30 artists right now that aren't doing what you're doing and not at the level that you're doing it. Right? They never would even think to get to where you're at because they think that you're being cocky. You're not being cocky. I'm just working hard.
Yeah.
They hear the same voices I heard. They're
Come
just
on.
listening to them.
They're
Right.
listening to him, bro.
No
And I'm
doubt,
not,
bro.
listen, with all due respect to anybody and everybody out there, bro, I am crazy enough to believe in me. Are you?
I love that. Yeah.
Are you?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I am that crazy. I am that psychotic that I believe that I can do anything and all things through
Bro,
the
why
belief that I have, which is God and Jesus
Why
Christ,
do
my
you think-
Savior.
100%. Why do you think people love betting so much
Yeah.
on sports? Because guess what? I'm just if I lose, it's their fault.
Right.
He
Yeah,
should have caught the ball.
Exactly.
Come on,
I should-
bro.
Bet on yourself.
Bet on
bro.
yourself,
Like,
bro.
That's
Yes.
the real risk.
Instead of going to the casino, go put that
Yeah.
money down on you and see what happens. with
Right.
it.
And I'm not saying you got to scream in other people's faces that you're better than anybody, because it's not that. But
Yeah.
if you don't believe in your mind that you're the best, you already lost.
Yep.
Like you don't have a shot. And like it's crazy because people try to take that away from you. Like people could see somebody walk in the room and they just have their head up and they walk in a confident manner. People will not like that person just because they have a vibe of confidence.
Yeah.
And say, man, he's full of himself. But man, I was raised to be extremely humble. Yes, sir. No, sir. Thank you. My parents are old school. My parents are older. They come from that old blue collar generation. So where my dad always preached humbleness, but
Shout out
I
to
feel
Mr.
like,
Petrishen.
yeah,
That's my dog.
and I love him to death, and I'll always be humble.
And the mom.
But I feel like in today's society, being too humble can make you go invisible. It can leave you underpaid, undervalued, underappreciated. You know, like you have to really believe that you're the best. You know, Muhammad Ali, when he became the heavyweight champion of the world, he didn't say, I'm not the greatest. He said,
I
I'm
am
the
the
greatest.
greatest.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like, if you don't think in your head that you're the best at whatever you're doing, an artist, an athlete, 7-on-7 coach, then, you know, you might as well not even try.
Bro,
Yeah.
and that's true stuff right there.
I was gonna say, like, I might even have to look down the barrel of the camera. Like, this is a news flash for you. Whatever you're trying to do, you're not the best.
Right.
You are not the best. But guess what? You might be.
Yeah.
But if you don't believe you are right now, you
Come
won't
on.
be.
Right.
Like, you have to, like, dude, I love that you keep coming back to, like, you have to see it before it's real. I used to think that was a little, like, fugazi, like,
Me too,
nah,
bro.
that's a little, like,
Nah, it's
you know what I'm
real.
saying? It's real, dude. It's real as this desk is sitting right here. Like, it's real. The whole world is matter. We all create it with our eyes anyways. Like, you got to see it here, and then you'll see it, like, through your eyes. Like,
Now think about that though, right? And this is something that I challenge people. And again, I don't try to force faith on anybody, right? But if you have no faith, you have no belief.
Yeah.
If you have no belief, when you have no hope, then where does your faith come in? So if you don't have any faith in yourself, then where are you sitting at? You see what I'm saying? It's because, yes, you might believe that you can do all things, but if you can't do it, then somebody else must be able to, right? But you have no faith, you have no belief. So when things go left, what do you lose? Hope. You know how scary that is? Because people who don't have goals in life will tear you down because you do. Because their goals don't align with what you're doing and they can't see their vision, they'll make sure that you go blind.
Right. Yeah.
I refuse. You're gonna have to rip these eyes out of my skull in order for me to go blind and not see my vision. And the reason being is that I'm just that crazy to believe in myself. I'm just that crazy to believe in certain people. I'm just that crazy to believe that my boy JP is gonna go to the NFL. I remember the day this man, I called him and he was like, bro, what are you calling me to do? To tell me that you don't believe in me? I said, JP, no, you know me better than that. You understand?
Yeah.
Like, I said, bro, chase your dream until that dream is no longer the same dream. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, bro, it's not about what anybody else thinks. Bro, first and foremost, bro, y'all don't pay my bills.
Yeah.
Right?
A negative thought doesn't.
You feel me?
They're
Like,
gonna be negative regardless.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
up until now, I barely paid my
you
bills.
know what I'm saying? So if
You think I'm worried about you?
right? Like, you don't put food on my plate, bro. You don't feed my family. You don't feed my children. You understand? So with that said, bro, like, I stay in my lane because I know that I'm going to be great. It's not a question.
Yeah.
Why would you question it, bro? You know how hard you work. You know how you killed out? Preparation.
Right.
That's exactly how you killed out. Preparation. Have you prepared to be the millionaire that you want to be? Have you prepared to be the NFL player that you said you claimed that you wanted to be? Have you prepared to be the best artist that Pittsburgh's ever seen? Swing. Have you prepared to be the best videographer that Pittsburgh's ever even been able to watch? If you prepared that way, then what the fuck are you doubting for?
Right.
That's it.
And I think,
Come on, man.
no, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But something else I've realized, on the journey of chasing something is that, like, when somebody else says something negative to you or, like, doubts you, it's real. I've learned to more deal with it with a sense of empathy. Like, that's coming from somewhere deeper. Like, you just randomly attacking me and telling me something's not going to happen or I'm not good enough. That's really, like, a reflection of the way you feel about yourself.
Come on.
Right. Like, you're just telling, like,
It's a projection.
and that used to fire me up, like, oh, Joe Schmo 321 doesn't even have a profile picture, tweeting me, telling me something about myself. Like,
Come on.
you never met me in your life, and you're gonna say something negative about me. That really just shows me how you really feel about yourself.
Come
Like,
on.
there's something deep down that's bothering you that you haven't got out yet. So that doesn't even make me mad anymore. And that's something that I've learned to tune out and really, like, kill the darkness with light. Because and it's crazy, like, some people at me and say something bad, and I'm like, bro, you got to get that hate out of your heart, man. I wish you the best.
Come on.
And it's crazy. Some people flip 360 and they're like, dang, you're right. Like, I didn't mean that.
That's the best. Dude.
Right.
You're like, yo, you need a hug?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You hate me, I love you more.
It
That's how I
doesn't
see
bother
it.
me anymore. And it used to keep me up at like, damn, I'm nice to these people. Why are they saying mean things to me?
Right.
They are,
And,
dude. They're
you
saying
know,
them to themselves.
Right.
You got it.
Like,
nail
you
on the
must
head.
be pretty miserable in life to just randomly attack or try to pull somebody else down.
And that's why, bro, I have a tough time with fans, and we talk about this all the time, but, like, you got to understand, the person that's out there playing is still a human being, right? Some people make mistakes, and unfortunately, the fact that we are humans playing a very, very profound sport, bro, people want to make past judgments. They want to do these different things, right? But I sit back and think about it. There's not another profession in the world where somebody legitimately tells you how bad you suck that's never actually done it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the person who probably tells you suck is probably your boss who's also done what you're doing how many times, right?
Yeah. We
So
got a
for me-
wardrobe change over here.
You know what
That
I'm
boy's
saying?
getting
I
hot.
feel
bro.
you.
I
It
know
gets hot
he's
over
getting
here. It
hot
gets
over there.
spicy. But I will say this, though. I will say this, man. 9 times out of 10, bro, it's like they're only upset because they didn't get a chance to do it to the level that you're doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's okay.
Yeah.
You still show love anyways, bro, because at the end of the day, bro, everybody's great at something. You just might not know what you're great at yet. And that is okay. Let's find it before you come at me, though.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, let's talk about it. How can we get you to the next level? You help me figure that out, and we'll work it out.
Yeah, and so many people are like afraid to go through that process of not getting the immediate validation. You know, we live in such a world of instant gratification from social media. You know, I post this, how many likes it got? Oh, okay, it doesn't have enough, I'm gonna delete it. You know, you didn't get the feedback you wanted immediately. The hardest thing is how long can you sprint without knowing where the finish line is? Ooh. And that's what I deal with every day. How long can I sprint without knowing when I'm gonna get, you know, the result I want? And that's something, a thought process or idea that I live on every day is every no that I get is one no closer to the yes. Like if somebody told you you are 13 no's away from the breakthrough that's gonna change your life, every time you get rejected, you'd be like, damn, I'm one closer. You know, we're one closer to that breakthrough point of my life. So like, you know, sometime when somebody says no, it's like, all right, it's not a rejection anymore. It's like all right, I'm getting closer. You know, you got to chop wood, carry water.
Come on, they don't know about that book, JP.
Yeah,
they don't know about
my
that
life,
book,
man.
JP.
That book
Chop
changed
wood,
my life.
carry water.
What's
Tell
this
them
book?
about Listen, no, I'm gonna let JP tell it because he tells it better than I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
chop wood,
listen,
carry water. So this
listen.
book changed my life. It was after I had my second ankle surgery, and a girl who I'm really close with at Penn State, she was going through ACL recovery. She was a lacrosse player. And I was just going through it. I felt like I was going through the motions. You know, I wasn't being myself. And she was like, JP, I really think you would benefit from reading this book. And it's like a short read, like 140 pages. And I've never like loved reading before, but I read this book all in one sitting. I couldn't put it down. And first off, it spoke to me because the two main characters in the book, their names are John and Jordan. Jordan is my sister's name.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, dang, like this book is like,
Shout
I
out
was
to
meant
little
to
sis.
read this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just talks, it's called Chop Wood, Carry Water. It's about, you know, falling in love with the process. And like, if your goal is to build a huge brick wall, you know, you don't set out and say, all right, I'm going to build this gorgeous wall. It's going to be the best wall ever. You got to go out every day and place one single brick as perfectly as you possibly can, and then do that again and again and again. And before you know it, you're going to have a perfect wall. You know, but if you go out and say, I'm going to build this wall, you're going to feel like that's years from now. You know what I'm saying? But if you fall in love with the daily process and not expecting the results, you know, that's the hardest thing in the world is keep going, not getting the results you want, and then do the same thing again and give it your all day and a day and day. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%, bro. 100%.
I don't know about you, but have you ever done that? I feel like I'm learning this as I get older. Like the joy isn't in when the wall's built.
Right.
Like
Yes.
when the wall's built, I stand there and look at that and go, I remember that brick. I remember when I dropped it on my foot and Trey helped me pick it up.
Right.
You look at every brick tells a story, dude. And
Yeah.
it's like you don't remember them until you see the wall. And it's
Yeah.
like if you can like have that mindset while you're building it, like you just said, it will change your life.
Yeah.
It will change your life.
100%.
And that's how you manifest stuff too, because like you said, if you know you're building a wall and you know you're building the third layer of bricks right now, the NFL might be up at 6.
Right.
And you're like, I already did it. The wall's already being built.
Yeah.
I just got to keep laying the bricks and it will just get there. The only way it stops is if I
Right.
stop laying the bricks.
Exactly.
Like,
Tell them about the bamboo tree.
yeah.
Oh, all right. Bamboo
This
tree.
is my favorite story. I ain't gonna lie. I never tell it right, so I ain't gonna tell it.
So this is from Chop Wood, Carry Water.
Yes.
And a bamboo tree, so they're not in the United States. So we don't know about bamboo
Right.
tree that much here. But so a farmer plants seeds to make a bamboo tree. And, you know, to grow any tree or plant, you need, you know, rich soil, proper sunlight, enough water every day, patience. And so farmer plants those seeds, makes sure the soil is great in the spot where it gets sunlight every day. He takes his time, waters it enough every day. He does this for, you know, a week and expecting something to come out of the ground. Nothing comes up. Does this for weeks, months go by, years go by, still sees nothing. He does the same process for 5 years and nothing comes up. But what you don't see is beneath the surface, these roots are, you know, huge, spreading all across the ground. And within 6 weeks, a bamboo tree will grow up to 90 feet tall. After 5 years, you see nothing for 5 years, and then within 6 weeks, it sprouts up to 90 feet
Boom,
tall.
baby.
So that's just like
Yeah.
anything in life. Like you're laying the foundation and putting all the work in, and one day it's, everybody's going to see it. And then everybody's going to be like, oh, overnight success, But what you don't see is the 5 years of work when you weren't getting any pats on the back.
Man, and that's something I had somebody tell me the other day. They were like, you need your ego stroked. I said, if you knew.
Right.
If you knew. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's so many times, bro, I've been told no more than I've been told yes in my life. I've been told that I'm not enough more than I've been told that I am enough. So with that said, like, you got to understand the person that you're dealing with before you pass a judgment with the person that you're dealing with. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I try my hardest to never pass judgments, because if I pass a judgment on you without knowing you, then shame on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know your story. I don't even know what you've gone through. I don't even know what it has taken you to get to where you are right now. You know what I mean? Because people go through some real sinister things, some real wild things out there in the world. You can look at the world right now and find out that it's very crazy, right? So you don't know how crazy somebody else's life is until they present it to you. So be careful on what you're judging, because you don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah.
You feel me?
They always say, like, if you knew everybody else's problems, Brian always says, like, you'd just keep your own.
Keep your own.
Yeah.
Like, it's the truth, man.
And that's why it makes it easy to show up every day, bro.
Yeah. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming in. Is there anything that we missed here that you want to say, or you got the platform is all yours here before we wrap up?
There's one thing left I want to talk about.
Okay.
And it's all right. So there's two definitions I'm gonna look up. I think that society has these mixed up.
Okay. I'm rolling with you.
Let me hear it, JP.
Okay. I'm not gonna tell you the words of each one. I'm gonna read the definition to you each first. All right. First definition: having or showing a modest or low estimate of oneself's own importance.
Say it again.
Having or showing a low estimate of one's own importance.
Okay.
Okay? Second one.
Yeah, I know it.
I think so, too. Whisper, what do you think?
Okay. And the second one is, one second.
I'm curious. I'm low-key thinking about it right now. I'm like, what is he saying? What could it be?
Dude.
Okay. Second one is a person who has interest in, wait, my bad.
Rewind.
We can actually.
Okay. A person who has interests and also thinks very highly of themselves.
Person, say it one more time.
A person who their qualities include of thinking highly of themselves.
Vinnie got to see words in front of his face.
Literally.
I'm asking him to repeat for our viewers, clearly, not for myself.
The first definition: having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. Why would anybody want to be like that? The definition, or the word of that definition, is humble.
That's humble. Yep.
But everybody thinks it's like,
So what did you say?
Confidence.
right? You think it's the reverse. And then the second one, a person who has excessive interest in thinking highly of themselves. That's called a narcissist.
Whoa.
Where most people have a horrible negative concept or view of narcissist. That's the buzzword. People say, oh, you're a narcissist. So just because you think highly and have confidence in yourself, you're a narcissist.
Right.
But if you have low morale and, you think lowly of yourself, that's humble.
Yeah.
Those are totally like flip-flop.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about. Yeah, I mean, because
So when people are like, nah, man, you're getting too high. Stay humble. Man, what do you mean stay humble?
What you
Like,
mean?
I'm not allowed to feel good about myself?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you got to shout on top of the mountains and tell the world that you're the best, because that's not how I was raised. But, like, if you don't believe in yourself and you don't think positively of yourself, then why would anybody else?
You know what? Drop the mic.
No, man.
You can't pour from an empty cup, man,
You've dropped so much here, man, and this is the first time I've had like an extended conversation with you, and I know you came into the office in the studio a few times here, but like definitely like am grateful to have you on the show today, man. Like I wish you nothing but success in your journey. I'm hoping that we get to be a part of it. Let us know when you get to training camp or something. We'll come deliver you a care package. Trey will sign some autographs for some kids on the sideline. But dude, Trey, final thoughts.
Man, I'm over here I ain't even gonna lie. I expected this from you just because, bruh, I don't hang around people who aren't good people, bruh. And you've always been a great dude, man. So I wanted to give you your flowers, bro. One, for coming on our show, but two, just being the person that you are, man. Being willing to give back, but also be able to give everything that is you to other people, and that is scary sometimes for some people. So I want to commend you on that end, bro, and just being thankful to be a brother, as well as let your family know as we're on here, because I know they're listening to this. Mrs. and Mr. Petrishen. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. Jordan, haven't seen you in a while, but I know you're out there.
Yeah, I don't know you guys, but if you raised this guy, you did an all right job.
Great dude. So
major love, guys. Nothing but
Major
love.
love.
I appreciate you guys, and I'll meet you guys at the top for sure. So
Come on.
Go, baby.
nothing
Come on.
Let
but
us know.
success and admiration to you both.
Let us know when you need a podcast.
I appreciate you guys.
You need a CFL videographer? Shoot.
Hey, come, man.
go.
I
Hey,
do.
my man,
I'm looking
swing,
for one,
chill,
right,
chill
bro?
out. Hey, we got podcasts to film.
My bad,
Relax.
my bad.
Relax.
he said, chill on me, chill on me, chill on me.
I appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for having me and giving me the platform to speak and just, have a dialogue with you guys. It's been a pleasure.
100%, man. 100%, man.
Appreciate it. Man, what a conversation. This is, I think it's a top 3 for me, man. We hit on some good stuff here. What was your favorite part from that?
I think my favorite part, to be honest with you, man, is that he gives a lot of different nuggets that are going to motivate the people, man. It's really going to give some people who don't believe in themselves a real opportunity to believe in themselves. So I'm excited to see what these people think about this episode.
No doubt, dude. Really insightful stuff. Like if you got, if you got it half as much as what I got from this episode, man, just leave a comment. Let us know like what really spoke to you. Make sure you're looking up Johnny on social media and give him a follow. His journey is going to be something really fun to watch unfold, in
100%.
front of us right now. If you're still here, obviously, we'd love for you to like, share, and subscribe this, and share this with maybe someone that's in high school, someone's getting recruited right now, or maybe they're in the transfer portal, or like wherever they are in their athletic journey. That this could provide some hope for them. So maybe share it with your team. Share it with everybody on your team. This is something that we really feel like we want to get this message out. I love our conversation. I love you guys for being here. Love you, bro, for setting up today's episode. And man, that's it.
That's it.
Anymore. This is Athletic Aesthetic.
And we love you.